Hi guys, welcome to another Scrawlrbox unboxing on my art channel Sophie Art. This is the box of the month of August. I can't wait to see what's inside. Oh, a sketchbook. This looks so fancy. It reminds me of like if it would be in an Apple book, like the information to an iPad or something. Quite thick paper. Looks cool. Oh, the snack. Ooh, something from Chameleon. Fineliners, okay. I didn't know they make fineliners. Interesting. Rainbow Renaissance. Wow, what an interesting theme. This one looks cool. I think it's so cool that they make different stickers now. Okay. A fine liner from Pilot. And a Staedtler pencil. Oh, I get where they come from, like with this technique. I don't know if you ever did this in school, but I needed to do this, like only use streaks. It helps you learn how to create shadows. This month's artist is Jonathan Knight. If you're interested in his artwork, you can check his links out. So the first thing I did was try all the supplies out. I started with the Fineliners because I thought they are so cool. I mean, I never tried something that could change the color this way, so I was really interested in how they work. I heard of the brand Chameleon before, but I never tried something out, so yeah, I was really excited. I tested the color changing effect and clipped on the cap of the fineliner. I mean 15 seconds, 20 seconds I guess. What I experienced is that it takes really long to get back to the original color. So I was kind of looking and seeing how I was just trying to get a feeling of how long it takes the color to ease out to the original one, so it's easier for me while I'm making an artwork. The next thing I tested out was the Pilot drawing pen. The only thing I don't like about it is it's too thick of a tip for me. At first I liked the bigger ones too, but now especially for this one, I thought it was just too big for me. I couldn't make details as much as I wanted them to, because the sketchbook is not that big, and compared to the size of the drawing pen, it was just not the best for me. And then I also tested out the pencil, but I mean it's an average pencil. I was happy with it, and there's nothing I can complain about. Then I went back to the fineliners and sort of tried out each color so I can see what I'm working with. And what I realized is that they were just really small compared to an usual pen. It's always like they are rising into the cap, so they are a bit longer, but when you grab them like a usual fineliner, you end up with your fingers at the really end of the fineliner, so it's something you just got to get used to. I don't know how long the ink will last since they are so small, but I don't think this will be a problem, but we will see. That's something I can't tell you right now. So for my Scrawler challenge, the prompt was Rainbow Renaissance. So I searched a little bit around and I thought the most iconic thing about Renaissance are these angels. I really love the chubbiness of the angels from this time period, so I tried to recreate it as good as I could. I never did something like this before, that's why for the Scrawler challenge itself, I used a reference from Pinterest. I just searched Renaissance angels. Then I used the reference for sketching, so I just laid it next to me and kind of used it for the anatomy of the angels because I never drew such chubby angels like this before. I didn't change much about the poses, I just shifted everything a little bit. I like the two in the background more, so I decided to only paint two of them and let them look like they are flying around, playing around. So I just took these two, and after I finished the sketch, I put the reference away and left the rest to my own imagination. My plan for the fineliners was to start with the lightest color, the yellow, and mix it with the red so that I can slowly get into the darker colors. And I wanted to put the yellow as the lightest color. When I look back at it, I'm not 100% sure if that was the best idea. Maybe I should have left some white places too. But I mean, I can change it now, so for the next time. My initial idea was to use the warm colors where light hits it the most, and then the colder colors where the light doesn't hit it as much. At first, it was really weird for me to work with the fineliners. I just wasn't used to color changing art supplies. I think I needed to get used to them a little bit. I was overwhelmed with the amount of colors that I had to choose from, and that made the painting darker and darker and darker because I was like, oh, I can also use this shade and this shade. To the colors themselves, I was not the biggest fan of the red. Just compared to the other colors, I don't think it's a bad color, but the color combination was not my favorite one, but I made it work. The thing I would really love to have is the green. I really love the green from the picture we got sent with, but since it's not there, never mind, I'm going to create something with the colors I have. Another thing that I had a problem with, if I have found a shade that I wanted to put on the painting, it kind of faded away after a few seconds. So I was like, oh, I need to wait until the shade comes again. So it's a bit annoying. But after creating like half of the piece, I was starting to really love these fineliners. I don't know, they made me really happy and creating something with it, even though it's not a masterpiece because it was the first time I tried something like that. I really loved it. It was so cool for me. Something I can recommend you when you work with these fineliners or color changing art supplies is that you have a paper next to you where you can draw until you have the exact shade that you want. It helps you to not get the painting as dark as mine turned out because you don't have to use it on your artwork. When I moved on to the black fineliner, I immediately had a problem with the thickness of it. It kind of ruined the facial features because I couldn't get as detailed as I wanted to. I mean, they already turned out a bit different than I wanted them to because the faces were getting so dark that I lost some of my sketch. And now I think they kind of look like they're in a mood because one of them looks like it's rolling their eyes and the other one looks like it's like I don't know. They look a bit strange to me. Maybe it's just me, but yeah. After all, I learned a lot about anatomy in this drawing and I really enjoyed creating it. After that, I turned to the box. For the box, I thought a long time. I kind of stayed with the idea of drawing humans. I created two kids that are holding each other's hands and kind of floating. I chose not to draw wings for them because I thought it would be too much that was going on top of them. I made a lot of mistakes that I already made in the first painting, and because I didn't use a reference for them, they didn't turn out as anatomically correct as the other ones. In the end, their faces also turned out quite dark, but I did a better job with the eyes. I also decided to not use as much of the dark fineliner. I think it helped in the faces, even though I destroyed one of the mouths a little bit. But they did not help with the hands. It just looks like a mess now. It's not the way I planned it, but yeah. I decided to use a little bit more blue in this drawing because I thought it would match with the Scrawlrbox writing. Overall, I'm not entirely happy with the box this time. The two characters are not exactly in the middle of the box, and in my initial idea they were not touching the writing. But I kind of love the face of the left one. I think it looks really cute. Also, I'm really sorry for the bad lighting in this video. If you have seen my first videos, you will know I made them outside because I didn't have good enough lighting inside. I switched a few things around when I redecorated my room, and I thought it would be enough lighting when I filmed next to the window, but unfortunately it was not. As you can see, the wood in the middle of the window, I don't know what that is really called, kind of creates a shadow that wanders through my painting, which really annoys me. But I found a way to deal with that. I bought a ring light online, and the next videos will be with the ring light if they are not outside. While drawing the hair, I learned a lot from the first one and didn't make the same mistakes in the second hair. I don't know if you can see it, but they again turned darker and darker, and I kind of avoided that at the second hair that I drew. Something that bothers me a lot, and I don't know why, is that the foot in the background of the right character looks like it's closer to the person looking at it than the other foot. I don't know why. Maybe it's because of the blue that is shining through the edge of the right foot. Maybe it's something else. I really don't know, but it really bothers me. I think all the problems I had with both drawings are that I don't have as much experience with the art supplies than with other art supplies that I used before. So I think it's getting used to them what will help me. So I think if I get used to them, I will create better artwork with them, and I will definitely do that because I really enjoyed them. And of course, another problem that I have to work on is the anatomy of the kids. But that's something I'm already working on, so yeah. And lastly, I also drew a bird because I looked at the artwork that was sent with the box and I kind of fell in love with the bird, and I decided to create something similar. I used the bird as kind of a reference and decided to let him sit on a finger. The arm is not as dynamic as I would have loved it to look like, but yeah, that's something I should have thought of earlier. Like maybe coming from a different direction would have helped. This time I tried to leave a little bit more white, and in some areas I reached my goal, like pretty good at the bird and then the fingers close to the bird, but the rest of the hand turned out darker and darker as I tried to give it more detail. I love how the eye and the beak of the bird turned out, but I'm not 100% in love with the legs of the bird. The fingers at first looked all really cool to me. In the end, I just like the thumb and the first finger where the bird is sitting on. The others are a bit ruined. I mean, they're not bad, but I like them better at first. Initially, I bended one of the legs of the bird so it would give him more dynamic. At the end, I think I just made it too big, and that's why it looks kind of off. I'm not sure if that's the problem, but it doesn't look perfect to me. But the last painting was just something fun I wanted to do, not that big of a task. I just created it because I wanted to improve a little bit in leaving more white spaces. So that's what I created for this month's Scrawlrbox. I hope you liked what I did, and I hope you enjoyed your own Scrawlrbox if you ordered one. Let me know in the comments below which artwork you liked best, and I see you in the next video. Bye!